Have you ever considered growing your own, fresh, tasty vegetables right at home during the summer months? Welcome to the wonderful world of home gardening, a place where your backyard or balcony transforms into a vibrant oasis of nature's bounty. Imagine stepping outside on a warm summer morning, the sun gently touching your skin as you reach to pick a ripe, juicy tomato straight from the vine. There's something incredibly satisfying about that, isn't there? Not only does home gardening provide you with the freshest produce, but it's also a cost-effective way to fill your pantry. Plus, it's a fun, rewarding hobby that can bring a sense of accomplishment and joy. But where does one start with home gardening? What are the right summer vegetables to plant, and how should you care for them? Fear not, for we have you covered. Today let's delve into the simple, easy-to-follow steps of growing summer vegetables at home. The first step to a successful home garden is choosing the right vegetables that thrive in summer. As the sun smiles down on us, let's capitalize on its warmth by growing vegetables that simply adore the summer heat. Tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, and bell peppers are just a few examples of summer-loving crops, each with their unique growing conditions. Starting with tomatoes, these sun-kissed beauties are a summer staple. They require a good 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day. With a plethora of varieties to choose from, these vibrant fruits can bring a burst of flavor to your summer salads and sandwiches. Next, let's talk about cucumbers. These crunchy delights are a breeze to grow and are perfect for those hot summer days when you need a refreshing snack. Cucumbers love warm soil and plenty of sunlight, so make sure to plant them in a sunny spot. Moving on to squash, this versatile vegetable can be a real showstopper in your garden. Whether it's zucchini or yellow squash, these plants love the heat and will reward you with a bountiful harvest. They need a lot of room to spread out, so be sure to give them the space they need to flourish. Lastly, bell peppers. These colorful vegetables add a pop of color to your garden and a crunch to your meals. Bell peppers thrive in the heat. Just make sure they get plenty of sunlight and consistent watering. Each of these vegetables has its own personality, but they all share a love for the summer sun. They are also high yielders, meaning you'll get a lot from just a few plants. And the best part? They're all relatively easy to care for, making them an excellent choice for both novice and experienced gardeners. So do a little research, see what you and your family enjoy eating, and consider the space and growing conditions you have available. Your garden is a canvas, and these vegetables are your vibrant paints. Once you've decided on the vegetables, it's time to prepare your garden. A well-prepared garden is the foundation of a successful harvest. Let's dive into the details of garden preparation, which can be divided into 3 crucial components: location, soil preparation, and proper spacing. First, let's talk about location. It's important to select a spot that gets plenty of sunshine, since most vegetables need at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day to thrive. If your garden doesn't get enough light, your vegetables won't grow as well as they could. So pick a sunny spot and you're off to a good start. Now, let's move on to soil preparation. This is where you can really make a difference in the success of your garden. The soil is where your plants will get their nutrients, so it's essential that it's well prepared. Start by clearing the area of any rocks or debris. Then, you'll want to enrich your soil with compost or organic matter. This will provide your plants with the nutrients they need to grow and produce a bountiful harvest. If you're not sure what type of soil you have, consider getting a soil test. This can help you determine what nutrients your soil's lacking and what you can add to improve its quality. Finally, we come to the important aspect of proper spacing. This is critical because plants need room to grow. If they're too close together, they'll compete for sunlight, water, and nutrients, which can stunt their growth. As a general rule, leave about 18 inches between each plant. This will give them the space they need to spread out and grow without crowding each other out. So remember, a successful garden starts with a good location, well-prepared soil, and proper spacing. These 3 elements, when done right, will set the stage for a thriving vegetable garden. With your garden prepared, you're ready to plant your seeds. Planting the seeds correctly is crucial for your vegetables to grow. You've chosen your summer vegetables, prepared the garden, and now it's time to get those seeds in the ground. For many vegetables, the planting process is similar. Create a small hole, place the seed, cover it with soil, and water it gently. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. Let's start with tomatoes. They are a summer favorite, and for good reason. They love the heat and can grow in almost any soil. Plant your tomato seeds about 1/4 of an inch deep and about 2 feet apart if you're using a row planting method. Then, we have zucchinis. These are a little more finicky. They need a deeper hole about 1 inch deep and need more space between plants, around 3 feet. That's because zucchinis like to spread out as they grow. Cucumbers are another popular choice, and they're pretty easy to grow. Plant your cucumber seeds about 1/2 inch deep and give them about 1 foot of space between plants. They'll start to climb as they grow, so make sure they have something to latch onto. Now let's talk about bell peppers. These are a bit different. They need to be planted about 1/4 of an inch deep and need about 18 inches between plants. But what really sets them apart is that they love warm soil. So they might need a little extra care at the start. Remember, no matter what you're planting, it's essential to water your seeds gently after planting. This helps to settle the soil and gives your seeds the moisture they need to start sprouting. There's a lot to remember, but don't worry. With a little practice, you'll become a pro at planting your summer vegetables. And remember, each vegetable is a little different, so take the time to learn about each one and tailor your planting process to its needs. After planting, the next step is to ensure your vegetables get the care they need to thrive. Caring for your garden properly ensures a bountiful harvest. A simple truth, but one that holds the key to unlocking the full potential of your green space. Let's dive into the needs of summer vegetables, including watering, fertilizing, and sunlight. Each of these elements plays a vital role in the life cycle of your plants, and when balanced correctly, can lead to a rich and healthy yield. Watering is an art in itself. Too little can leave your plants thirsty and stunted, while too much can lead to root rot and other diseases. For most summer vegetables, a good rule of thumb is to water deeply and less frequently, rather than shallow and often. This encourages the roots to grow deeper into the soil, making the plants more resilient during the hot summer months. When it comes to fertilizing, less is more. Over-fertilizing can lead to lush foliage but poor fruiting, which is not what we're aiming for. A slow-release organic fertilizer applied at planting time is usually sufficient for the entire growing season. However, if your plants show signs of nutrient deficiency, such as yellowing leaves or stunted growth, a balanced liquid fertilizer can give them a quick boost. Sunlight is another crucial factor. Most summer vegetables, like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, love the sun. They need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day to produce a good crop. If your garden doesn't get this much light, consider planting crops that can tolerate partial shade, such as lettuce, spinach, and radishes. Now let's talk about pests and diseases. These are the bane of every gardener, but there are ways to keep them at bay. Regular inspection of your plants can help you spot problems early before they become severe. If you notice any signs of pests or disease, such as chewed leaves or discolored spots, it's important to take action immediately. There are many organic solutions available, from insecticidal soaps to beneficial insects and disease-resistant varieties. Finally, don't forget to give your plants some love. Talk to them, sing to them, or simply spend time with them. It might sound silly, but plants do respond to human interaction. Plus, it's a great way to de-stress and connect with nature. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. It's about learning, experimenting, and growing along with your plants. So don't be discouraged if things don't go perfectly the first time. Every mistake is a lesson learned, and every success is a testament to your hard work and dedication. With proper care, your vegetables will grow and be ready to harvest in no time. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, and may your garden bring you joy, nourishment, and a sense of achievement. Happy gardening. The most rewarding part of home gardening is harvesting your own fresh vegetables. Knowing when and how to harvest your summer vegetables can greatly impact their flavor and your overall yield. Let's dive into the specifics. For leafy greens like lettuce and spinach, start harvesting when leaves are young and tender. This usually happens about a month after planting. Snip leaves from the outside of the plant, allowing the center to continue growing. Root vegetables like carrots and beets are typically ready to harvest when they're about the size of a large thumb. You can gently brush away some soil at the top of the root to check their size. If they're ready, gently loosen the soil around them with a trowel before pulling them out. For vine vegetables, like cucumbers and zucchinis, check regularly as they tend to grow quickly. Harvest them when they're still small and tender. A simple twist should be enough to remove them from the vine. Tomatoes are ready when they're fully colored and slightly soft to the touch. Simply twist and pull them from the vine. Peppers, on the other hand, can be harvested at any time after they reach their full size, but waiting until they change color will give them a sweeter flavor. Remember, the more you harvest, the more your plants will produce. Regular harvesting tells the plant to redirect energy towards producing more fruit or vegetables rather than into seeds or overgrowth. It's also important to use sharp, clean tools for harvesting to avoid damaging your plants. Damaged plants are more susceptible to disease and pests, which can impact your future harvests. Finally, don't forget to enjoy the fruits of your labor. There's nothing quite like the taste of a homegrown tomato or the crunch of a freshly picked cucumber. By following these steps, you too can enjoy fresh homegrown vegetables this summer. Growing your own summer vegetables at home is easier than you might think. So we've journeyed together from the very beginning of this process, and now it's time to look back and recap the steps we've taken. Let's take a moment to appreciate how simple and rewarding this adventure into home gardening can be. First things first, we talked about choosing the right vegetables for your garden. Remember, the key here is to select crops that thrive in summer months. Tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, and zucchinis are all excellent choices. Each of these vegetables has its own unique needs, but they all love the sunshine and warm weather that summer brings. Next, we discussed how to prepare your garden. This is a vital step, as the success of your crops largely depends on the environment in which they grow. We talked about choosing a location with plenty of sunlight, preparing the soil with the right mix of compost and garden soil, and setting up adequate drainage to prevent waterlogging. Then we moved on to planting your seeds. We learned that each vegetable has its own preferred depth and spacing, but as a general rule of thumb, seeds should be planted at a depth twice their size. We also covered the importance of watering immediately after planting to kickstart the germination process. After planting comes the phase of caring for your garden. This is where your dedication really starts to pay off. We learned about the importance of regular watering, the benefits of organic fertilizers, and how to protect your plants from pests and diseases. Remember, consistency is key here. Your plants rely on you for their needs, so don't forget to show them some love. Finally, we arrived at the joyous step of harvesting your vegetables. There's nothing quite like the feeling of picking fresh, ripe vegetables from your own garden. We learned to identify when our vegetables are ready to harvest and how to pick them without causing damage to the plant. To wrap up, let's reflect on the journey we've taken. From choosing the right vegetables, preparing the garden, planting seeds, caring for your garden, to finally harvesting your very own homegrown summer vegetables. It's a process that requires time, patience, and a bit of effort. But the rewards are certainly worth it, so why not give it a try? The joy of harvesting your own vegetables, the satisfaction of knowing exactly where your food comes from, and the simple pleasure of watching life grow in your garden. These are all experiences that are within your reach. Start your home gardening journey today and experience the joy of harvesting your own summer vegetables.